I reached the point where there was nothing left to hide, no extra resource, no second plan, no secret reserve, just empty hands and a quiet question pressing my chest every morning. How long can this last? Lack does that. It does not scream at first. It whispers. It watches you cut expenses, lower expectations, silence prayers you are tired of repeating. Then one day you realize the silence is heavier than the noise ever was. This is the moment most people miss. When everything is lacking, God is not absent. He's observing what you trust when nothing responds. Scarcity exposes loyalties. It strips performances. It humiliates pride. That is why it feels unbearable. You are not just lacking things, you are being confronted. I lived this in the desert. I led people with no food, no water, no land, no guarantees. They thought the problem was hunger. It was not. The real test was dependence. The real battle was whether they would trust God when provision had no visible source. Prosperity does not begin when something appears. It begins when denial ends. If you are listening now, it is because this pressure is familiar. Bills waiting, doors closing, strength fading, faith stretched thin. Stay. What you understand next will decide whether lack continues to lead your life or finally loses its authority. The prayer of honest lack, when denial blocks provision. I learned that miracles slow down where pretending speeds up. People hide lack because it feels shameful. They dress it with optimism. They rename it patience. They call it faith while secretly fearing exposure. But denial blocks provision faster than disobedience ever could. God does not respond to performances. He responds to truth. In the desert, I never told God we were fine. I never exaggerated strength. I named the emptiness exactly as it was. No water, no food, no way forward. That honesty did not weaken us. It positioned us, because the moment lack is admitted, false pride collapses. And where pride falls, grace moves. Many sons and daughters pray asking for more while refusing to admit there is nothing left. They ask for increase while hiding exhaustion. They speak faith while drowning in silence. That contradiction creates delay. Not because God withholds, but because alignment is missing. Prosperity does not flow through denial. It flows through surrender. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Silence can be disobedience. Shame can be rebellion disguised as humility. When you refuse to say you are empty, you are secretly claiming control. Honest lack breaks that illusion. It says, I cannot fix this. I cannot manage this. I cannot survive this without you. This prayer is not elegant, it is raw. It is the moment you stop negotiating and start exposing reality. And this is where provision begins to stir. Not in abundance yet, but in direction. Not in overflow yet, but in alignment. Once honesty enters, heaven has permission to respond. If lack has been silent in your life, let this be the moment it is named. What you admit now cannot dominate you later. The prayer of order, why God does not bless chaos. I discovered something painful before I discovered provision. Lack does not always come from absence. Sometimes it comes from disorder. People assume God blesses effort, intention, or desperation. He does not. He blesses alignment. Chaos may cry loudly, but it cannot sustain prosperity. In the desert, nothing fell from heaven before order was established. People wanted provision first and instruction later. God reversed that logic. He gave direction before giving bread. He organized movement before releasing supply. Disorder drains miracles faster than scarcity ever could. Many sons and daughters pray for prosperity while living emotionally scattered. Decisions without priority, commitments without discipline, spiritual life postponed, financial life improvised, relationships unmanaged. Then they wonder why lack returns again and again. It is not punishment, it is consequence. Here is the plot twist most do not expect. God does not fix chaos with abundance. He exposes chaos through lack. Scarcity becomes the mirror. It reveals where things are misaligned, unmanaged, and unsurrendered. Prosperity would only amplify the disorder and destroy you faster. Order is not control. It is obedience expressed in structure. When God asks you to organize, He is not limiting you. He is protecting you. Before manna fell, people had to gather correctly. Before water flowed, they had to position themselves. Provision follows order, not desire. This prayer confronts uncomfortable questions. What have you ignored because it felt small? What have you postponed because it felt inconvenient? What habits, priorities, or choices have remained disorganized while you ask God to compensate? He will not. When order begins, lack loses its grip, not because money appears instantly, but because waste stops. Confusion quiets, direction sharpens, and once alignment is restored, provision has somewhere safe to land. If scarcity has been repeating in cycles, examine order before asking for increase. This prayer realigns what chaos has scattered, and realignment is the language heaven understands. The prayer of dependence. Why self-sufficiency provokes scarcity. I learned this when strength became useless. Self-sufficiency feels noble, it looks responsible, it sounds mature. But in the desert, it was the most dangerous illusion we carried. The moment people believed they could manage one more day alone, lack tightened its grip. God was not offended. He was waiting. Scarcity has a hidden purpose. It exposes where independence has replaced trust. As long as you believe you can solve it, fix it, endure it, heaven stays silent. Not because God refuses to help, but because dependence has not been activated. Asking is not weakness, it is alignment. I watched people try to store manna. They wanted control, security, proof for tomorrow. What they saved rotted overnight, not because provision was fragile, but because dependence was non-negotiable. God refused to let yesterday's supply replace today's trust. Prosperity that does not require God becomes a trap. Here is the fear most avoid naming. Depending on God feels risky because it removes guarantees, it removes timelines, it removes leverage. Self-sufficiency keeps dignity intact, dependence breaks it. And that breaking is exactly where provision accelerates. Many sons and daughters live in recurring lack because they only ask when options are exhausted. They pray as a last resort instead of a daily posture. God allows scarcity to linger until asking becomes honest and continuous, not dramatic, consistent. This prayer shifts posture from control to surrender, from calculation to trust, from silence to asking. It does not demand abundance, it admits need. And the moment need is admitted without shame, access opens. You are not being punished by lack, you are being repositioned. The question is whether you will cling to self-reliance one more day or release it now. Prosperity does not begin when resources increase. It begins when dependence is restored. The prayer of obedience under pressure, when it makes no sense. I learned that obedience becomes hardest when it costs something immediately. Pressure compresses time. It tells you to hurry, to decide fast, to choose relief over truth. That is how lack pushes people into mistakes that feel necessary but create longer deserts. Obedience under pressure is where prosperity is either delayed or unlocked. In the wilderness, instructions rarely matched urgency. People wanted results first and obedience later. God demanded the opposite. Move before seeing, act before understanding, trust before relief. This felt unreasonable when hunger spoke louder than faith. Yet every time obedience was delayed, lack intensified. Every time obedience was executed, provision followed movement. Here is the twist most underestimate. God does not reward intention. He responds to alignment in action. Wanting to obey does not shift outcomes. Partial obedience does not open doors. Pressure exposes what you truly trust when obedience feels risky. Many sons and daughters wait for confirmation before acting. They call it wisdom. Often it is fear wearing logic's clothes. They postpone decisions God already made clear. They delay steps because obedience would cost comfort, reputation, or control. That delay becomes expensive. Obedience under pressure feels foolish because it removes negotiation. It closes escape routes. It commits you to God without leverage. That is why it terrifies pride and threatens self-protection. But it is also why it attracts provision that cannot be manipulated. I watched water come only after the strike. Paths open only after movement. Prosperity does not precede obedience. It follows it. The prayer of obedience is not spoken with confidence. It is executed with surrender. If pressure is intense right now, pay attention. This is often the moment where obedience matters most. The step you resist may be the one carrying provision behind it. What you obey today determines what responds tomorrow. The prayer of declaration. Prosperity begins in the spirit. I learned that lack does not end when circumstances change. It ends when authority is established. Silence allows scarcity to speak. Words restore order. What you declare defines what is permitted to stay. Prosperity does not wait for proof. It responds to alignment expressed out loud. In the desert, survival depended on agreement. Complaints multiplied lack. Declarations redirected it. When people spoke fear, fear grew. When truth was spoken, provision reorganized. Words were never decoration. They were legal permission. Heaven moves where agreement is clear. This is where many hesitate. Declaring before seeing feels dangerous. It feels exposed. It feels arrogant. Yet silence has never protected anyone from lack. Declaration is not pretending abundance exists. It is establishing who governs before abundance arrives. Prosperity begins when identity shifts from surviving to aligned. Now is the moment to act. Write this prophetic phrase in the comments as an intentional declaration, not as routine. The Lord is my source, and lack has no authority over my life. Write it with awareness. Words draw boundaries. What you declare determines what follows you. If this message reached you when everything felt tight, support its reach, like the video and subscribe to the channel. This is not about promotion. It is about allowing this word to reach other sons and daughters standing at the edge of decision, while lack pressures them to choose fear. Your action helps this message continue where it is needed. Do not leave yet. Alignment is sealed through prayer. Pray with me now. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.